Yo, what's going on? This is Joe Roscoe, co-host of Move Fast, Lift Heavy podcast. Thanks again for joining in. If this is your first time listening, thanks. Welcome. If you like the pod, please rate, subscribe, leave a comment. It'd be greatly appreciated. Help us spread the word about Move Fast, Lift Heavy. If you haven't checked out our apparel or our online training program, check us out at movefastliftheavy.com. Or you can just click the link in the description of this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoy this interview. And afterwards, take a look at some of our vlogs, watching Christian train, and just a little bit more backstory about the brand MFLH. All right, let's bring him on. Co-host, founder of Move Fast, Lift Heavy, Christian Harris.
What up, what up?
What up?
I like the intro this week.
Christian Harris. What's up? How you doing?
I'm well, man. You know, another Thursday.
Another Thursday.
Rest day for most people. But
International Podcast Day.
Yeah. But we're out here, doing some Zone 2 stuff, testing out the bodybuilding track. Which we have coming very soon. Very excited for that. Just a very, very chill, low-key day.
Yeah. Gymnastics track starts on in September, just a couple days away. We're going to get gymnasty up in here.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that. A lot of people are going to really gravitate towards it, especially those that need the extra gymnastics work. They're really going to be appreciating that for sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm excited for our guest. Why don't you intro who we got coming on, and let's do the deed. Let's get to it.
For sure. So the next guest is a good friend of mine. I've known him in this CrossFit space for quite some time now. I'd say maybe about 7-8 years now, since we first met. Probably have seen him throughout the gram and through the community as a law enforcement officer, as ESU actually, so emergency services unit, sneakerhead like myself, good friend of the brand, Jason Lacayo. Let's bring him on.
How's it going, guys? Pleasure to be here.
Okay, there he is. Hey,
I'm honored and I'm stoked to be here. So thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on.
You guys make fun or?
Pleasure.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Big fan. So thank you.
It's a little delayed, but so Jay, I'd like you to kind of tell the audience here how you've gotten into fitness, and just give us a little bit of your background and your journey. From, I'd say, when you got into fitness through your career, through law enforcement, and kind of where you're at today, what you got going on.
Okay, cool. Well, I played sports throughout high school and as a kid. So I've always been into fitness or some form thereof. So, played football, baseball, and basketball growing up. And then just kind of like I was just one of those kids that always was, as a young kid, I got into a lot of trouble. So because I was too busy, be among the line of my uncle, my brother, a few of my cousins. So, the next best thing outside of going to the military, which I was going to do, was become a police officer. So I ended up becoming a cop in like 2005. And then I was looking to kind of figure out how I was going to stay in shape to be a police officer. And my cousin, who was a cop in Virginia, put me on the CrossFit. So that's when I got the bug, man. I had a small gym up here called CrossFit Gotham, and I was there for a little bit. That's actually where I met Sin for the first time after brutality. So started there, and then pretty much got the bug in like 2012. I figured out that I wanted to maybe try to ramp up my programming. So I got a coach, and then just kind of went after it from that point. But the one thing I could say that CrossFit did do is help me become a better police officer. So then once I figured out that, hey, this is making me better on the street, I was like, all right, I want to go in 100%. So my goal as a cop was to be an ESU guy. So actually CrossFit helped me pass the physical standards to become a ESU officer. So I kind of owe CrossFit my career. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, how far into your career did you start training for the ESU exam?
Cool. So I got hired in 2005. So I was NYPD from 2005 to 2007, and then I transferred to a city called White Plains in Westchester, and from 2007 to like 2009, I was just doing regular patrol, and an opportunity came up to potentially go to ESU school, but you need a certain amount of time to be on the street in order for you to actually take the test. So they held me back from taking the test. So like 2013 is when I actually got certified to be a SWAT operator. And that school is intense, man. I'm pretty sure PJ told you about it, man. It's like 6 months of just like grueling training. You got to work on your firearms. You got to work on rope rescue. You got to work on vehicle extrication, and it's a very physically demanding job. So, you got to be in peak physical condition. And I wasn't going there to fail. I wanted to pass. So that's like right around the time I kicked up. I started doing CrossFit.
So all that kind of stuff was happening together there.
Yeah. I got not so basically like you can put in for it, and so I put in for it, and the biggest thing for me was you have to pass what they call a Cooper standard here, which is it's a 1.5 mile run according to your age and gender, and push-ups and sit-ups. So you got to run like 1.5 miles, and like it's like 9 and change. So I think it was like 9 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that. You had to run that 125. So I got to work on my training. So CrossFit kind of helped me do that.
Gotcha. So I do know you're a former football player, and for those that don't know you, obviously you're in law enforcement, and you've got to be able to, run the 1.5 and do all the body weight tests and things like that. But you are somebody that can move some damn weight. I've seen you hang clean 300 plus pounds, no problem, from the power, from the high hang, back squat over 500 pounds. Like, how long have you been lifting weights?
Since high school, man. It's funny because when I was like 15 or 16, it was $1 to join the PAL to like do weightlifting. So me and like 4 of my friends were like, hey man, we're gonna join the PAL. And those guys were kind of doing it just 15, 16 years old. And I fell in love with it right away, man. It's just one of those things that either you love it or you don't. I just had a passion for lifting heavy weight.
Gotcha. And then you also did that 1-ton challenge. I'm pretty familiar with it, but I'm not sure like where it came from.
Oh yeah,
how
man.
you heard about
fun,
it,
dude.
And give us a little run through on what the 1-ton challenge is.
Okay, so 1-ton challenge was I think you got a bench press, clean and jerk, back squat, deadlift, and snatch, and it all has to equal a ton. In the beginning, it was just guys doing it, right? And then I think it was like Adrian Conway. Adrian Conway did it in like Adrian Conway did it in less than, I think it was like a minute and change. I think it was like 40 some odd seconds. And
Oh wow!
I just kind of jumped on it. Yeah, I think I just jumped on it there. You know,
Shout out to
move as
Adrian,
fast as possible.
good friend of the brand. How we doing?
Trying to fix this Wi-Fi here, brother.
All right, no problem.
Okay, let me know how that works. It should be a little bit better now.
Cool. I see you got into a lot of biking recently.
Oh yeah, man. Just a different way to work on my conditioning. It doesn't beat up the body, and you can go hella far on a bike, and it's kind of therapeutic. You know what I mean? So it was just more so something that I wanted to try differently, because eventually I want to start doing triathlons. So you know, my dad is a big cyclist, so the next best thing was for me to get a bike and like start doing it with my dad. My dad's retired law enforcement as well, so it was a way for us to bond and you know, just work on the body. You know, my dad's 67 years old. He's been retired 11 years, and
Oh wow!
Dude can still ride 50, 60 miles on a bike, no problem.
Okay, I mean that's one thing that I definitely would like to try to start getting into. My on the road biking game is something that has been neglected for sure since probably a young kid. You have any suggestions on good bikes for the road?
Oof. And there's so many brands, bro. It's a super expensive habit, so just be prepared to spend some money, because a good bike is probably gonna run you like $2,000 or better. I have a Trek and an Italian bike called the Bianchi, and I think Trek for the most part is probably a good bike to start with. But just start researching brands, man. Body types. You know, you got to get fitted for a bike. Not like you just hop on a bike and ride. There's you got to like measure your inseam. What are you, about 6'1", right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're probably like a 56 or a 58 centimeter bike, and then you know you just got to literally get on and ride and see what works for you. These things, they come in like, I mean, there's different pedal options. There's different carbon fiber weights. Dude, it's so elaborate. And then there's electronic shifting. There's manual shifting. Dude, you can have a $14,000 bike easy. And, you know, it looks like a regular bike you would see on the street, but you wouldn't know it's 14,000 unless you sat in a bike shop and they broke down every single component on the bike. But dude, it's hella fun.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'd love to get out there one day.
I mean, you're super fit, bro. You wouldn't have no problem going like 50 miles. No issues.
How long does a ride like that take?
It depends, man. It really depends on the terrain. So like where I live is a lot of hills. So there's a trail that I get on. It's called the North Trail, and for the most part, it's kind of flat. Once you go super north, it starts to get pretty hilly. So 50 miles will probably take 3 hours, something like that, give or take.
Okay. Cool. So one of the things that I kind of want to get into with you, especially in your line of work, is how you balance training, nutrition, and things like that, having that odd schedule, that comes with the job.
Yeah, well, so I do intermittent fasting. I don't know, a lot of people aren't big fans of it, but I work off hours. So I go to work at 6 p.m. and if I were to sit there and eat the 3 or 4 meals during my shift, I'd probably end up being over 260 pounds, because at that time there's not really nutritious things to eat. You know what I'm saying? So I figured out intermittent fasting kind of worked the best for me, and kind of like gearing my macros around that. So intermittent fasting, kind of following macros, not being super, super strict, but just staying within the numbers, a little bit of flex in there. And then the training aspect, it's just it's therapeutic for me, bro. If I don't move my body, I really don't feel normal. You know what I mean? So as far as endorphins and being even keel, I need to work out. So especially in a job like this where it's very stressful, you need some kind of hobby or something to relieve stress. So working out was that outlet for me. You know, and any form of movement for me really helps. You know, that's why I kind of like picked up the bike too, because the bike you could kind of get on it and get lost. You know, and you know, if you don't ride with headphones, it's just listening to like the wind. I mean, it's just kind of like you have a cadence to breathing, so it's almost like meditating. But
Sure.
you know, for me, it's just releasing those endorphins and finding an outlet to relieve stress. You know, and then when you eat good, you feel good too. So I notice if I do eat anything like it's off my normal, you know, diet, I don't feel right. So it all goes hand in hand, man. But it, it's something that it took me years to figure out, bro. It wasn't easy, you know, because when you first become a cop, you work all kinds of crazy hours, so you end up eating whatever you can, and the next thing you know, like most guys, they'll come out of the academy the best shape of their life, and then within like 6 months on the road, they're 20 pounds overweight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're eating any and everything they can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely something to be said there with the work that you've put in to be able to stay on the job as long as you've been, staying in shape, you know, advancing your career by, you know, becoming an emergency service unit. Let's dive a little bit more into the nutrition aspect, because I think if we have any listeners out there that are law enforcement, I think this would be a very beneficial piece for them to maybe take something away from here. So you're fast, right? What time do you wake up?
Oof. I try to get up at like 9:30 ish. So I get off at 4. I'm home by like 4:15. It's a short commute, and then as soon as I hit the bed, I go to sleep. I get around 9:30. You know, walk the dog, do things around the house, and then I'm in the gym.
So about 4 to 9. So you get about 5-ish hours of sleep.
Yeah, I get a nap in before work, so I don't want you to think I'm running off of 5 hours of sleep
Okay,
every day. I get a little nap in before I go to work.
gotcha.
So yeah, I train between the hours of 10:30 and 12:30, and then I head back to the house, do some things like around the house, like you know your normal stuff, laundry, whatever have you. Walk the dog again, hit a nap,
Now, do
and then I
you
go to
do
work.
you eat at that point?
No, so I usually eat right before I go to work. And usually like depending, because there's days where if I get called in to do something, let's say it's a search warrant or something like that, my 10-hour day can turn into a 14 or 16-hour day. So I try to have a meal right before I go into work. So I'd say my first meal is probably like like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
And that's your first meal of the day?
Yeah, first meal of the day.
Okay. So are you doing
And
like
that's like
a
a
16
nutritionally dense
16-8?
shake. Yeah, 16:8 for the most part.
Okay. So for those that aren't familiar with intermittent fasting, the numbers that we just spoke about, 16-8, you are doing a 16-hour fast. So you're not putting anything in your body you're not putting anything in your body except for water. I believe black coffee is okay. Tea. Is there anything that you include into that 16-8?
A lot of green tea, man. I stopped drinking coffee as much. One thing you will find out on this job is that coffee is like the lifeblood. I think you're only supposed to have like 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. That's like the normal suggested amount you're supposed to consume. And when you work in these odd hours, you need coffee. So I ended up just being addicted to coffee. So I tried it. I went over to like green tea. That's what I got right now. So yeah, I have green tea, no sweetening, no nothing, just cold tea in a cup, baby.
How do you find the energy from green tea is compared to when you were drinking coffee?
It's almost the
You could be honest.
Unless you're drinking some kind of like crazy roast. it's not as potent as like, good coffee, but it gets the job done, man. I just feel a lot better when I'm drinking a green tea. If I have coffee, it'll be on the weekends now. With like if I wake up and I got some time to burn, I'll have a nice cup of coffee. You know what I mean? But green tea for me kind of just, you get the caffeine kick. It's just not as crazy as like a dark roast would be,
Gotcha. All right, so just circling back really quick to this fasting thing. So 16-8, 16 hours, you're not putting any food in except for water, green tea, coffee, and then the rest of your meals are going to take place in an 8-hour window. Now, for some of those that don't follow macros, the fast can be beneficial because it doesn't allow you to continually consume calories for a long period of time, right? You're trying to squeeze in a certain amount of calories in a smaller window. So it's kind of hard to overeat when you think about it that way. But if you want to really take the intermittent fasting and then combine it with macros, that is something that can definitely help you out a lot. I am somebody that likes to do an intermittent fast. I have my last meal of the day at about 7:30ish. It's more of a snack at that point, but 7:30ish. I'm in bed by 9. I wake up at 5, train, coach and train first thing in the morning, and then I don't eat again until about 11:30ish, noon will be my first meal.
Okay.
And I kind of use that that fasting time frame mixed in with my RP strength numbers and my RP strength plan to, follow a strict regimen and keep my macros nice and tight. So if anybody out there is looking to maybe play around with the fasting, give it a shot, see how it works for you. Everybody's a little bit different when it comes to nutrition. There's definitely no right or wrong when it comes to nutrition. As far as best practices are concerned, there's tons of different things that work for one that don't work for another. So it's not a one size fits all kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Now, how long have you been doing the intermittent fasting?
Probably since we moved into this new facility. So maybe close to 2 years now. I've been messing around with it. And it's kind of like you were saying, it's more of a schedule thing. Waking up first thing in the morning, I wake up at 5, I get to the gym by 5:30. I'm right into coaching. I'm right into training. There's not really time to eat between all of that stuff. I mean, I can have an intro workout shake, which I typically do on longer sessions.
Okay.
But for the most part, especially right now in the off season, I'm just doing the fast and having like some BCAAs, sipping throughout the session kind of thing.
I think I'm trying.
But I like it.
I've never tried the BCAAs or the intra carb stuff for the workouts. I think I'll probably throw that in there, man, because sometimes you hit a wall when you train on the fast, on an empty, because it's fasted cardio pretty much, right? Or if I'm trying to do anything explosive, and you kind of feel tapped out on the fast. So I think I'm definitely gonna throw that in there. Maybe that'll help me out a little bit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that was one thing that I really noticed a difference with. Once we started ramping up for games training last season, is I was starting to hit a wall at the latter part of my sessions, and it's definitely because I wasn't getting enough food in. So nutrition is super major key. So yeah, having something like an intra-workout shake, whether it's just dextrose, which is just straight sugar, or taking a supplement like Carbolin or FNX makes an intra-workout carb, anything like that, Gatorade, it could definitely help you stay strong throughout the entire session.
All right, for sure. I'm gonna throw that in there,
give,
man. Thank you for that.
give that a shot.
For that insight.
Especially if you're riding on
sure.
the bike for a while.
Oh yeah, if I'm on the bike for a while, I usually I'll throw some BCAAs in my water. Someone actually did recommend I get like an intra-carb shake of some sort, some kind of drink or powder. So definitely gonna throw that in there. I'll let you know how that goes. I got a long ride later this week. I got like a 65. So I'm gonna definitely throw some intra-carb stuff in a shaker bottle and get after it.
Yeah, try the FNX stuff. It's a carb, but it also has like a little bit of hydration stuff in there too.
I'll pick that up. Thank you, man. I'll write that down.
So
you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm curious because I've seen it sprinkled in on your gram every now and again. Like how you got to know Styles P.
Oh man. So I moved to Yonkers when I was like 13 or 14, and I was right in like the epicenter of what I call the golden era of hip hop. You know what I mean? So I had heard the Locks before I moved to Yonkers. My cousin was like born and raised there. My cousin would come to the house with these tapes, and at that time they were called the Warlocks. So I kind of knew who they were, and then they were super cool with my cousin. So the way like Yonkers works, Yonkers is like this big little city, so everybody knows everybody. So I ended up being cool with the younger siblings of, the Locks, Jada, P, and Sheik. So I used to train at this gym, which is no longer open. It was called Global Fitness, right? So picture yourself being like this 14-year-old kid, right? And then you're walking around. There's this like epicenter they call Getty Square in Yonkers, right? And in Getty Square was the Rough Rider studio, right? So this is like 97-ish. So this is right when they started to like really off. And you'd walk around Getty Square, you'd see DMX, you'd see Mace, you'd see all these rappers. So it's like, like I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And then I kind of figured out where the studio was, and then I ended up going. Like I said, I went to school with the younger siblings, and then they used to go to my gym. They used to go to this gym called Global Fitness, and then I ended up getting super cool with Styles and Sheik, and Styles more so because Styles was almost like a kind of like a big brother, man. He's like one of the main reasons I'm like primarily plant-based. And if you know anything about Styles, like his past, he's a very angry guy, and he kind of was like, sat me down one day and gave me like a little bit of some life coaching, man. And I saw like the progression of like who he became from what he was, and we just got kind of close, man. Just like from working out, and he would throw me some like brotherly advice here and there, and then just got super cool, man. And actually, I hit him up right after the verses, and we were just chopping it up about that whole thing, man. I don't know if you caught it, but it was epic, man.
I caught it, man. That shit was crazy.
Because everybody thought that Dipset could beat him, and if you know anything about music, if you know anything about hip hop, the Locks, not for nothing, even though they are. I think they're a classic group, definitely in my top 5 of all time. But I'm from Yonkers, so I guess I'm a little biased. Most people would put Dipset before them for what they did for the culture. The belts, the fashion. They had some commercial hits. If you look at the catalog, I mean, the Locks, hands down, bro. They did joints with Mariah, Mary, Diddy, of course, Biggie. The catalog is ridiculous, but you got to go back and look at it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people were doubting him, so I just kept kind of going back and forth with Jada and Styles, and I saw them right after, man, and it was a conversation to be had, man. If anyone could sit in on that, it was pretty comical.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. Like it's funny you say that because I was kind of like, I think Dipset could definitely take this, and then as they started going deeper and deeper into the verses, and they kept pulling out banger after banger after banger, and I'm like, I forgot about all these joints, you know, like
Yeah, man.
it's crazy.
For me, it was a setting. I've been to several lock shows, man. They're great performers. Dipset. I mean, if you did that in a closed setting where there was no audience and you went song after song, I think Dipset might have taken it. The locks to me are just way better performers. They're true MCs. You know what I mean? So they know how to move a crowd. They can get a cadence and they can kind of just go from there.
Yeah, the delivery,
And
all that. Yeah.
exactly. And then, you know, Jada just kind of got in his bag and they just let him run with it. And I think all their streams just went up between like Dipset and the locks. Like I think their streaming jumped up significantly. I think a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people forgot about some of these bangers that they had. And because if you think about music right now, it's dominated by like, you know, these younger artists, and it's like drill music, it's trap music. It's not really lyrically dense. And I feel like people were hearing songs for the first time. Like these young kids were hearing songs for the first time. They didn't really, you know the catalog of like Jadakiss and the mixtape era. They missed all of that.
Yeah.
So now they got a brand, because like Tyler Creator was on a show talking about like that freestyle that Kiss was spitting. To me, like that was a classic, but these kids never heard it. That was that was on Clue tape. I remember having that with my Walkman. You know what I mean? So it was enjoyable to watch that, man. Super enjoyable. I'm happy they won. So.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if anybody has not seen that, if you go on YouTube and type in Locks versus Dipset battle, I mean, it's like, what is it, like an hour or so?
Yeah, it's about an hour and change.
Yeah.
It got crazy. It got a little chippy. You got a little chippy in there.
Yeah, it did. But I think it was for the show.
Yeah, for the show, exactly. It was like watching a wrestling match, man. You know, it was all for entertainment, I think. But yeah, definitely a great show, man. I get Styles in here. He comes to the gym every so often, so I get him in here. We work out. He's all about like health and wellness and like helping the community, man. He put up like 3 or 4 outdoor parks in Yonkers. They just gave them the keys to the city, and he's actually working with like the city of Yonkers. So for those of you who don't know, like Yonkers is the 4th largest city in New York State, and he's actually created a program where like if you are a underprivileged person, so if you don't have the funds to sign up for a civil service exam, Justice for Life will pay for your exam, and you take it, and you actually I take a course after you take the exam, after you pay for the exam and take it. You take this course, right, and they sponsor the whole thing, and they give Black and brown kids an opportunity to have these like civil service jobs. So just shout out to Styles for putting his foot forward, helping the community, and just getting some more color and diversity onto the police department, just kind of to combat not only the police department but like fire and EMS side too. Just because of the climate that's going on in the country, man, I really feel like there's not a lot of people helping. And he's one of the guys that's out there actually like making things happen. So just want to shout him out on that.
That's awesome, man. It's a great cause. And now it's got my wheels spinning. I'm potentially doing like, maybe you could link us up or something one day, and we could do a legendary collection after him. Because he is into the fitness.
For sure, man. Oh yeah, man. I definitely will. We'll talk off that summer.
Beautiful. Hang on one sec.
Where's the Jumpman J nickname come from?
Oh man. So I can't dunk or nothing like that. It just comes from my sneaker collection. So One of my boys had a consignment store years ago, and I used to just be in there every day, and literally anything would come in and I would just buy it, right? So it'd be a Jordan 1 would come in, an SB Dunk would come in, and I would just take it. Next thing you know, I had over 500 pairs of my collection. And then one of my boys one day was like, this guy's got more kicks than Jumpman. And everybody just started calling me Jumpman. So it kind of stuck.
All right, there we go. Okay.
It's been with me since I'm like 18.
Is your
think it's
sneaker
like,
collection still is your sneaker collection still as large as it was?
Nah, man. I got rid of so at my peak it was like 700 pairs, and then I dumped it down to like 500. I probably got like between storage and what I have in the house, maybe 250 now. You know, but all like bangers. They're all bangers, bro. Like,
yeah,
I got Yeezy 1s, all 3 colorways. Yeezy 2 colors. Couldn't get the Red Octobers because that's when he did the split from Nike. So if anyone has Red Octobers, those things are going for like 10 grand, and I don't have 10 grand to spend on a pair of kicks. Oof. So otherwise, I'd have a pair. But I got all bangers, man. Like, just put it this way: if I went broke tomorrow, I could probably get back on my feet with my sneaker collection, if need be.
Well, try not to make that happen, so that in 30 or 40 years, then you really could heighten the level of getting back on your feet.
Yeah, man. You know what my biggest regret is? I'm wearing a shirt right now. So I had over 150 pair of Kobe's, right? And there was a period of time where, like, his sneaker, not saying they dropped off, but they weren't as wanted,
sought after,
like, yeah, LeBron. So like, yeah, man. So I ended up selling a majority of my Kobe collection, and he passed. And once he passed, I mean, the most basic of Kobe was going for like ridiculous amounts of money. Not saying I probably would have sold everything, but I probably would have made a pretty penny if I kept some of that stuff. I have a handful, but my biggest regret is getting to that whole Kobe collection. Set.
Yeah. What do you think about this whole Yeezy Gap collab?
I mean, it's weird, man. Like, I feel like anything he touches is just gonna turn into something insane. He's got like a lot of hype beasts around him. You know, there's so much hype around the Yeezy brand. It's gonna do well. I don't know if it'd be something that I'd wear, or but I mean, he's a genius, bro. You know it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
I think anything he touches is successful.
He's so frustrating, though.
I know, man. It's like,
you think the album's coming out tomorrow, or what? Right? You think it's coming?
Negative, man. He's gonna push. No, I think he's waiting for Drake, bro. He's waiting for Drake. You know, they got that whole little feud going on. Yeah, he's gonna drop. I guarantee it'll be the same day Certified Lover Boy drops. He'll drop.
Just out of spite.
I'll bet the bank on it. Just out of spite. I'll bet the bank on it. I'll bet the bank on it.
That's funny. All right, so listen. We won't take up too much more of your time. I would like to finish this off. I don't know if you've listened to any of the podcasts with the Spitfire. So basically, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Short answer format. Just first thing that comes to your mind. All right. Would you rather move fast or lift heavy?
Lift heavy.
All right, my man. Coffee or pre-workout or green tea?
I'm gonna go coffee, man. I'm gonna go coffee.
All right. Current weekday sneaker rotation.
Ooh, current sneaker. Right now, I just been on LeBron 8s, bro. I just been wearing all the LeBron 8s. I don't know. I go through pockets, man. I'm usually like a Jordan 3 guy, but LeBron 8s right now. So I'm gonna go with LeBron 8s.
Love some threes though.
I know you do, bro.
Favorite brunch food?
Ooh, pancakes, chocolate chip pancakes, bro.
Okay. You have a specific spot?
There's a diner in my old neighborhood that I try to get to. It's called Riverdale
Okay.
Diner in the Bronx. Best
If you could
pancakes in the
pick-
city, I think. But
If you could pick one exercise to do for the rest of your life.
hand cleans, bro. All day.
I figured that.
Hand cleans.
I don't know if you saw what I posted today. Which one would you rather do? 75 power cleans at 225 or 225 power cleans at 75 pounds?
I'm gonna go 225.
75 reps. I'm gonna
Power
test.
clean.
I'm gonna test these out in the next couple
Yeah,
weeks.
75 reps.
Just to see what's up.
Oh, you're gonna test them out? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I got to see how this goes.
Give me an idea of what your current playlist looks like.
That's a playlist from the versus battle. So literally it's song for song. So from intro to ending, it's the same exact rotation they had on the versus battle. I'm in the car every day listening to that. In the gym, listening to that. Going to work, listening to that. So that whole versus playlist, it's on it. If anybody has Tidal, I'm a Tidal guy. It's on Tidal.
I'm not on Tidal. I've got everything else but Tidal.
Tidal's where it's at, man. A lot of people sleep on it, but
I'm sure there's one on like Spotify or Apple Music or something. Somebody's got to be thinking the same thing and put one together.
yeah, definitely. Because Apple Music, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one on Apple Music. What's your playlist looking like right now, bro?
I've been doing on Apple Music, basically based on what you listen to a lot. They'll curate a playlist for you. So I've been listening to the Christian Harris Apple Music radio. So it's a lot of like Travis Scott, a lot of EDM, like dance kind of songs. Drake, of course, Kanye,
Got
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Dude, shout out to you guys for putting you. There's a playlist that you guys have that's like all like EDM, like house.
Is it on Apple?
Ride my bike to that playlist. Yeah, it's on Apple. I ride my bike to that, bro.
Oh yeah, that's MFLH Housework. So on Apple Music, I'm always adding to the two playlists that we have. There's MFLH Housework, which is all like EDM and that kind of stuff, and then there's, I think it's just MFLH. That's more all hip hop and that kind of stuff. Bangers.
All right. I got to get that one, but I know the Housework. I rode 71 miles to that playlist, bro. So shout out to you guys for that playlist because it's fire.
I literally just added about 7 songs
miles,
this morning.
Oh,
hey, you're not playing.
I'm going to use that for my 65. I ain't playing games, bro.
All right, bro. It was a pleasure having you on.
Since you started, bro, and I do pay attention to the podcast and the brand and the things you're doing. So keep being positive for the culture. Keep doing what you do, bro. We appreciate you. So
thank you, man. That was fun.
Jumpman. Thanks so much.
What's up,
pleasure getting to listen to y'all. And I'm definitely going to be looking up that hang power clean video for over 300 pounds. I can't wait to see that.
Anytime, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
Repost it today as a throwback.
Yeah, throwback Thursday.
I'll repost it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Appreciate you. All right, man. Later.
There was Mr. Christian Harris. Jumpman.
Yeah. Jumpman Jay. Always a pleasure talking with that dude.
Looking forward to following his journey a bit more. The sneaker collection numbers was just kind of astounding to me. I could not comprehend this. this little apartment I'm in right now. I don't think I got enough room for all the shoes. That's it. Just have a mountain of shoes in here.
Joe, what's your sneaker collection looking like right now?
I actually just got a new pair of Kyrie Irvings and a new pair of KD, Kevin Durant shoe coming in.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to take a look at the Kyries I got? They got the Christian Harris mismatching colors without even having, it already comes that way.
It's crazy because I've been doing that for such a long time, and now it's like it's a thing now, for real.
So I'm in Miami now, right? So I was like, all right, I got to get something Miami appropriate. So if you're on YouTube, you can see this, but sorry if you're listening to the podcast. So you got the pink balloon going on, but then check out these crazy
the checks. It's funny. They look like they've definitely taken some of the Yeezy when Yeezy was still with Nike, and put it on these Kyries.
Yeah, here they are.
They're pretty dope.
They're not bad. The KDs that I got coming in are a little bit more safe. They're a little safer. They're not as loud. So, all right, man. Well, I'll catch you on the next episode coming up. Everyone that was listening, thanks very much. Joe Roscoe here, Christian Harris, Move Fast, Lift Heavy podcast. If you haven't tried out our online training program that comes with a free shirt, check it out. mflhtrain.com or movefastliftheavy.com. And we got a new drop coming. Tell us about that, the community drop. I always butcher this crap, man. Tell me what do we got?
So the next collection we have, it's fitness and fellowship. Anybody that is within this community in this space, we all have a bond through fitness. So this collection kind of represents fitness and fellowship, kind of merging the two together. And it's got a little bit of a New York inspired theme with some of the logos in the drop, but check it out. It's coming very soon. I'm really excited for this one, especially just like the whole meaning behind it and a lot of the colorways and palettes that we used. It's a good look.
All right. Can't wait. All right, everyone. We'll catch you for the next one. Later.